Hello, everybody. My name is Bishop O.C. Pringle, and I'm your host on another episode of Preach the Word Books of the Month. And it is an honor to have with us our guest for this particular episode, all the way from the state of Missouri. He's standing by, author Matthew Duke Rodgers. Welcome, Duke. You don't mind if I call you Duke, correct?
No, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Listen, Duke is the author of his personal testimony, somewhat of an autobiography, if I may say, entitled Stand Alone. And I'm telling you, any one of you out there that has a testimony, you've been through what Duke has gone through, I promise you this book will be a blessing to you. Duke, I want you to introduce a little bit about yourself.
All right, Bishop. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. I was in a car accident when I was 19 years old. I was thrown out of a car 75 feet and landed on my head. I died twice on the scene, but my breathing, my heart had to be restarted. I was life flight helicoptered to North Kansas City Hospital. I was in a coma for 28 days.
You were in a coma for 28 days?
Yes, sir, 28 days. And
so this was right after graduating from high school?
Right after my freshman year at the University of Missouri. So I'd been out of high school about really less than a year when it happened, but roughly about a year.
That is a powerful testimony that you experienced this right after high school, your freshman year in college. You are embarking upon an entirely new life for yourself. Looking in the book, not only reading it, but I saw some pictures. You have great pictures in this book. And those of you out there that's interested in purchasing this, listen, I'm telling you, there's some great pictures. I saw that you were quite athletic. Is that in high school or college?
High school. I was an all-state wrestler. I took third at the state tournament my senior year in wrestling, 152 pounds, and I was an all-conference football player both ways. I was voted Kansas City Star Scholar Athlete for my high school. I grew up near Kansas City, Missouri.
So stand alone. Here we go. You were leaving from where going to when the accident took place?
The wreck happened, like I said, shortly after my freshman year. I'd been home just a bit. Me and a couple old high school football buddies went out to shoot pool, have a couple of beers, but there was really no point for the evening. When I got done going out with the guys, I came home, checked in with my mother to let her know I was home, and then I snuck back out of the house. I never made it back into town, though. I was in a single-car automobile accident. They estimated, and there's pictures in the book of the wreck site and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I was in the southbound lane, and I was going around a curve, and they estimated they measured my skid marks. I don't know how they do it, but they estimated I was going 95 miles an hour. And there was something in the road, and I swerved to miss it, and the car ended up in the ditch. And the police report said I tore the ditch up for the length of a football field, 328.3 feet. And then I either tried to get back on the road or whatever, and the car flipped and rolled both.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture here. That's in the book. This is a picture of the car. I don't know if you all out there can see this or not. But listen, man, that's amazing that anyone made it out alive out of this. And this actually happened on Mother's Day in 1989, correct?
Yes, sir.
Wow. And so when did you become aware of what happened? Well, you were in a coma for 28 days. And so after coming out of the coma, how were you informed of what had taken place, or were you aware when you came out of the coma?
No, I wasn't aware. Coming out of a coma, especially when you have a traumatic brain injury like the one I had, I mean, I have a video, and there's still pictures that I took from the video in the book showing me how it was in the second rehab I was in, I was in 3 different rehabilitation centers around the state of Missouri the following year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to relearn how to walk again, how to talk again, speech therapy, eat again, drink again, do everything again. It was almost like starting over as a little child.
God has
And
been good to you, Duke. God has been so. Are you a minister?
thank you, sir. I've shared my testimony at several churches before, but I went to a seminary type school in Kansas City for 6 months, but they were preaching and preparing for the Y2K problem. So I said, and that was when my mother was still alive. She was convinced that we were going to be in trouble. I said, well, if things are going to get that bad, I'd be better off over at my father's ranch than I would stuck here in Kansas City. So I left the school after 6 months, came back here, and I've never left here since then.
Well, even if you're not a minister or an ordained preacher, should I say, you are
Yes.
definitely, without a doubt, Duke, you are definitely a living testimony. You are
Well,
a
thank
living testimony. So you're leaving from your friends, you go home, and then you go back out. You end up in this accident. At this particular time, you're extremely athletic. I'm assuming outgoing person. You're 100% healthy. You come out of this and you're going into therapy after 28 days of being in a coma. So you indicated that you suffered brain damage. Maybe you've already answered this question, but to what extent is the brain damage?
Oh, shoot. Brain injuries are a very interesting thing. Any doctor that tells you they're all alike or whatever doesn't know what they're talking about, because first off, all the brains are different and all the injuries are different. I was told, and I think I told you this already, that I would not be able to count the number of fingers on the hands or number of toes on my feet. I graduated I took my first college class within a year of that statement, finite mathematics at Rockhurst College in Kansas City. I got a B in the class.
Awesome. To God be the glory. And pardon me for saying brain damage. It's brain injury, because even though your brain was injured, it is not damaged. God has worked a miracle. Injured but not damaged. Okay, that's a good message if you ever decide to start preaching. Okay, that's the topic for a message. Injured but not damaged. I give God glory for you and this book, man. This book is going to be, and I'm sure it's already a major blessing to so many people, whether they went through this already or they're going through this. They're laying in the hospital. They're going through therapy. If God did it for William Duke Rodgers, then definitely God can do it for them. So currently, are there any limitations physically that you have?
Certain ones, but I worked out with weights a lot after the accident. Shortly after I came out of a coma, my brother and all the physical therapy, after I was done with all of the rehabilitation, I did a workout system with my brother called Cybergenics, my brother Clint, and it was lifting real heavy weights, and that helped me get some of it back, because the truth is I lost a pound a day on the average when I was in a coma. And my mom talks, so she wrote about that in the book, but the first thing that comes off isn't any excess. It's your muscle. You have muscle atrophies down. And I lost 30 pounds, like I said, of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried working out hard, but limitations, you learn to overcome them. I have to write notes to myself, and and to remember stuff. And that was all stuff that they taught us in the different rehabilitations I was in, especially the last one, at Rusk at the University of Missouri Hospital.
So again, you are a living testimony. you are a miracle in the flesh. When I look at you, Duke, I see a miracle. I see a miracle. Any particular chapter you think would serve as the portion of the book that will basically sum it all together for a person? What is your favorite chapter? I would ask.
I really have two of them, Bishop, in the chapter. The first one probably, which I call Worlds Apart.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just worlds apart because the life I was living and the life of a true believer were worlds apart. I was not saved till I was 17, almost 18 years old on a mission trip to Guatemala.
So that's chapter 9. What's the other chapter?
No, that's chapter 1, the first one. The other chapter is The Forgotten.
The Forgotten. That's
97.
Okay, I see. So Worlds Apart, that's page 9. I'm sorry. And The Forgotten is page 197. Listen, those of you that are watching this episode, I want to let you know this is one of my favorite because I'm speaking to a man wherein the enemy said no, but God stepped in and said yes. And not only did God say yes, but God sent him on a mission. And he has a ministry sharing with people all across the globe on what God has done for him. And so, listen, it was a pleasure talking to you, Duke. You are an awesome man of God. I encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. Keep on writing. Keep on sharing your story. Keep on sharing your ministry that God has blessed you with. You are definitely tailor-made by God. And so we give God glory for you. But listen, I can't help but notice what's going on that wall behind you right quick, just within 30, 40 seconds. Could you show me what's on your back wall? What is that?
Thank you, Bishop. It's a deer. Can you see it better now?
That's a deer. Is that the only one up there?
No. That's the smallest one up there.
Is that mama, daddy, and child?
No, but they're all daddies.
They're all daddies. Oh, poor children. Okay, all daddies. And what's that on the other side of your pool stick holder?
It's what's called a turkey skin. It's just if you were to shoot a wild turkey and skin it down and fold it out and dry it. It's basically a skin with all the feathers and everything like that off of a wild turkey.
Duke, enjoy yourself. Enjoy your hunting. Listen, thank you for sharing a little bit of your personal items with us. Well, listen, Duke, thank you for being on our show today. You are such an inspiration, and I admire you for your testimony, your ministry. And listen, those of you that are tuning in with us, don't go anywhere. We have another guest that's going to be on the set with us today, Author Mary Ball. You do not want to miss what God has given her to share with all of you out there. Again, I am Bishop O.C. Pringle. I am your host. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey travelers, everybody wants cheap airfares, but where can you find them? You call Smart Fares. Our prices are direct from the airlines and they're so low they're not published anywhere. Smart Fares specializes in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rentals, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, Smart Fares can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call us right now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these low rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the lowest rates available, so don't wait. Call Smart Fares right now for the best price guaranteed. Save up to 50% off business and first class. We've got great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 800-477-0945. That's 800-477-0945. 800-477-0945.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for staying tuned with us. We're back again for the second half of our episode, but now we're here with an author all the way from Randleman, North Carolina. the phenomenal Mary L. Ball. Listen, she's the author of Stone of Destiny. Thank you for joining us, Miss Ball. Listen, I had an opportunity to take a brief look over your creation, and wow, what a story.
Thank you.
What a story. Tell me a little bit about you before we get into the book.
Well, I'm from Randleman, North Carolina. It's a small town on the other side of Greensboro. And I'm married, and I have a beautiful daughter named Heather.
Okay.
And when in between my writing, I keep my grandson around the school schedule and all while Heather works. And my husband and I have a music ministry, and I enjoy being involved in church.
What's the name of your church?
Sophia Church of God in Sophia, North Carolina.
Sophia
Church of God in Sophia, North Carolina.
Listen, so those of you that are around Sophia or Randleman, listen, check out Sophia Church of God. What's the pastor's name? Let's give a quick shout out to him.
Pastor Wayne Rouse.
Pastor Wayne Rouse. God bless you, Pastor Rouse. I'm sure you are proud of your music minister here today.
And his lovely wife's name is Barbara.
We can't talk about the pastor without talking about the pastor's wife.
Right.
All right, Barbara, thumbs up to you. Listen, tell me a little bit about your inspiration for writing Stone of Destiny. By the way, this is a beautiful cover.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous. Is that your house?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't want it because it'd be too much to clean.
I like you. So what was your inspiration for writing Stone of Destiny?
Well, my grandson, when he was younger, Dalton, he used to love to read those young adult books about magic. And I'm sure without mentioning the names, you can just envision what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I'd pass by and see him reading those, and I got to thinking, such books. But then I thought, there's so many wonders in the world, so many spiritual wonders that come by with the hands of God. Mm-hmm. And with that thought, I just got a desire in my soul to write about a real kind of wonder.
I like the way you put that. You've got a desire in your soul. Yeah. I love the way you put that. Well, listen, it paid off because this is an awesome piece of literature. Taylor, tell me about Taylor.
Well, Taylor Harrison, the main character, she's just a young girl that's just involved in her career. So the only thing she really cares about in life is her career. She's the CEO for Mugfuls, which is a fictional coffee company. And so she's her career and her grandmother, Granny K. Those are the two important things to her in the world. Everything else is just
Granny K.
Granny K.
All right.
Yes. So shall I tell you about the book?
Yes.
About what happens? Okay, so Granny K falls and has to move out, and she asked Taylor to move into the estate and oversee some much-needed renovations, and to also search for a missing heirloom ring that's been missing for 50 years. Well, reluctantly, Taylor agrees, and Granny K tells her that the ring has been known to influence several of their ancestors, and it's really important for her to find that ring. So she agrees because she wants to please Granny K. Mm-hmm. So while she's searching for this ring, between her attraction to the contractor and the sudden strange dreams that she starts having, now she feels that the ring's all responsible because of some of the things Granny K says. But it's basically, Stone of Destiny is basically really just a romantic mystery based on what prayer and faith can do.
So a romantic mystery ultimately led Taylor Harrison to Christ.
To the Lord.
All right,
exactly
to the Lord.
Right.
Okay,
yes.
So let's go back to the contractor.
Okay.
So the contractor's hanging around the house,
yes,
because she's overseeing the renovating of the home. Okay. Granny K is at the house with her?
Granny K is the grandmother.
Yeah, but is she there at the house?
No, she's moved out.
So she didn't come back to the house
She
yet?
didn't come back. So so Taylor's living in the house, and the contractor's coming every day. Contractor is tearing down walls and making an open concept.
Okay.
Because Granny K wants to sell her big old estate. The contractor's a Christian.
The contractor
Yes.
is a Christian.
Yes.
Okay. However, at this point in time, Taylor has yet to find the ring,
Taylor's yet to
but some
find
good things are already happening.
Yes.
That's a message right there
Yes.
all by itself. Not only when you get to your place of destiny, but on your way.
That's right.
God will
Yeah.
give you incentives
That's
to
right.
encourage you that will also provoke you to continue on your search for that ring. So she's falling for this contractor, and so what happens next?
Well, because Taylor is such a control person, they can't decide on certain materials. So, of course, Taylor has to go with the contractor to certain places to pick out the flooring. And, of course, this gives the contractor a chance to throw his little tidbits about the Lord in every so often to
Okay.
her. And along with that, the attraction comes. And as they grow closer, she finds the ring. And a lot of things in life just happen one step at a time, but sometimes we want to blame it on something else until we really see the big picture.
So Brent is the contractor. So Brent is now introducing her to Christ.
Exactly.
Was the attraction before that or after that?
The attraction was before that. you
Okay.
know,
So she was already interested
she
in
was-
Brent anyway.
Yeah, and making that possible for doors to open for him to introduce her to the Lord.
Okay. Did they ever finish renovating the house?
Oh, they did.
Okay.
They did. They finished renovating the house. They ended up getting married and actually moving into the house and moving Granny Kay back in there with them.
And so the ring. What happened with the ring? Did she find the
She
ring?
finds the ring, yes.
Please tell me she used that at the wedding. Did she use the ring at the wedding?
She did not. She wears it on a chain
Taylor!
around her neck.
What were you thinking? All of that searching and you didn't wear this ring at the wedding. Wow. Okay. All right. So at this point in time, that is an awesome message that you have in this book, even though these are fictional characters with all of that, but the message is real. I want to concentrate on the message. Tell me about the message and who would you say this message is for?
Well, the message is faith and prayer. And the message is for anyone who believes. See, behind this book, the believing force was Granny Kay. Granny Kay and Brent's aunt prayed for them every day. They were praying that they would both find a soulmate and then that she would also come to the Lord. So they were the force that were praying for all this to take place.
I love it.
So
I love it. Yeah, this is for anyone, prayer, faith, anything that's going to encourage prayer or faith is for any one of you out there. However, I also see this being extremely instrumental with the singles ministry. Look at this. Here goes a hardworking young man with nobody to share life with.
yeah.
So he's searching for someone. He that findeth the wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. So here goes a hardworking young lady who has reached a level of success, okay, port position at Mugful, and now she has a grandmother that's counting on her. She's making money. Apparently she's extremely intelligent and smart, but there's still a missing link in her life also. And so I believe there are a lot of young women out there in the body of Christ and outside the body of Christ that have reached this plateau but don't have a mate.
Exactly.
A lot of young men, just like Brother Brent, amen, that is in that same place but don't have a wife, and how God brought them together. They thought they were building a house, but they were building a life.
That's right.
They thought they were looking for a ring, but they were actually looking for each other. Isn't that something? That is absolutely phenomenal. Well, I think this is an awesome book. And where could we find this?
Well,
Oh, there's a picture of the ring right there.
yeah, there's the ring.
There the ring is right there.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. I like the ring is right there by the trees.
And actually, it's a sapphire. And when I wrote the sapphire into the book, my publisher emailed me and said, "Mary, do you know what the Christian meaning is for the sapphire stone?"
Wow.
And I said, "No, I
Tell
don't."
me.
And she said, "Well, Google it. You'll be surprised." And it means clarity, and it means truth, and it means purity.
Oh, this was something.
And I
Oh my
thought,
God.
it just fits.
This was
It
provoked
just
by the
fits.
Holy Ghost when you wrote this.
Yes.
Listen, I've been preaching for 26 years and I didn't even know that. I never even heard that. That is an awesome story. So again, where can you find this book?
Amazon.com and all online retailers such as booksamillion.com, barnesandnoble.com, Christian book distributors, and Walmart carries a few, but I don't know if Walmart carries that one, but it's anywhere online.
Okay. Well, listen, what about a website?
MaryLBall.com.
MaryLBall.com.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to tell us about your book that we didn't cover?
I don't think so.
Do you know her?
Do I know her? I don't know
Okay.
her. No.
Okay. But that's Taylor.
That's Taylor.
That's
yeah.
Sister Harrison, y'all. That's Sister Harrison from the church. All right. Awesome. We got to get Taylor down to the Church of God. So she can get the fullness of it. Listen,
There you go.
Thank you for joining us. Listen, I really enjoyed talking with you. You have a light about yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Keep writing,
you.
keep singing. You don't play.
I don't play. I sing by what some people call canned music or soundtracks.
Okay,
Yeah.
can music.
That's, yeah. Well, it's soundtracks. Accompaniment. Yeah.
Can. I'm talking
Canned
about
music.
the can.
That's what
Why
some people
can?
usually call it. Canned
I've never
music.
heard that before. You teaching me some stuff today.
See, I'm from the South, way back. I'm more South than here. I'm Randleman, North Carolina. That is like real South.
It's
you
real
know.
country out
Yeah,
there.
Yes, yeah.
Well, listen, there's some good people there because listen, thank you. Your daughter's out in the audience. Your
yes.
grandson is in the audience.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us. Listen, this has been an awesome experience sitting here talking to the phenomenal Mary L. Ball. And I want to stop right there. Y'all messed me up right there, man. Y'all messed me up. Let me just start with, it's been a phenomenal experience talking with her. How many minutes do I have? Just 1 minute. Okay. It's been a phenomenal experience sitting here talking with this awesome author, Mary L. Ball. And listen, those of you out there, you heard where you can find this book. Go there, purchase the book right quick. How much is the book?
I think it's $10.99.
$10.99. Listen, that is extremely inexpensive to receive this blessing. Add to your library, even in your singles ministry in your church. Again, my name is Bishop O.C. Pringle, a host here at Preach the Word Books of the Month. Thank you for joining us. See you next week, same time, same place. God bless you all. Thank you for joining.